Hollyweird, The Dark Side of Stardom. Los Angeles, 1929. Eleanor Blackwood hunched over her typewriter, fingers trembling as they struck each key. The clacking echoed through her small rented room on the outskirts of Hollywood. Outside, rain pattered against the window, the first storm in months. Perfect weather for confession. "They'll come for me soon," she whispered to herself. "But the world deserves to know the truth about the hierarchy." She glanced at the newspaper clipping pinned above her desk. The headline read, "7 stars missing after Hillside Mansion blaze." Below it, smiling faces of Hollywood's brightest young talents stared back at her. Eleanor knew where they'd gone. She knew what had taken them, because she had been there. She had witnessed the ritual of ascending flames. She had seen the shapeshifters in their true forms, and somehow, against all odds, she had escaped the illuminated circle. Her fingers found the scar on her palm, the mark they'd carved during her attempted initiation. Even now, 8 years later, it burned when they were near. Los Angeles, 1921. The train whistled as it pulled into Los Angeles Union Station, belching steam into the crisp morning air. Eleanor Blackwood gathered her single suitcase and stepped onto the platform, the California sun immediately warming her face after the long journey from Missouri. At 22, with honey blonde hair and eyes the color of polished jade, Eleanor possessed a natural beauty that turned heads. But it was her voice that was truly special. A 4-octave range that could make angels weep, according to her choir director back home. In her pocket was a crumpled letter offering her an audition at Pantheon Pictures, one of the new film studios experimenting with talking pictures. What she didn't know was that her letter of invitation had been orchestrated by a network that stretched far beyond Hollywood, a web of influence that connected entertainment, politics, and ancient bloodlines across the globe. "Miss Blackwood?" A man in an impeccable suit approached her, tipping his hat. "Maxwell Werner, Pantheon Pictures. Mr. Hawthorne sent me to collect you." Maxwell's smile was practiced, but Eleanor noticed his eyes, too bright, too knowing. Around his wrist was a bracelet bearing a symbol she couldn't identify, an eye within a pyramid surrounded by what looked like reptilian scales. "Mr. Hawthorne himself?" Eleanor couldn't hide her surprise. Vincent Hawthorne was one of the most powerful producers in Hollywood. "Indeed. The Circle has been watching you for some time, Miss Blackwood. Your gifts have not gone unnoticed." As they drove through Los Angeles in a gleaming Packard, Eleanor pressed her face to the window, marveling at the palm trees and Spanish-style buildings. The Hollywood sign, still reading Hollywoodland then, stood proud on the distant hills, a beacon to dreamers like herself. "Tell me," Maxwell said casually, "what do you know of the ancient mysteries, the hidden sciences?" Eleanor blinked. "I'm sorry?" "Spiritualism, theosophy, the occult sciences. Many of our most successful performers have broader interests than the public realizes." "I was raised Methodist, if that's what you mean." Maxwell's laugh was indulgent. "Oh, my dear, organized religion is merely the outer shell. The real power lies in the esoteric traditions, the knowledge passed down through secret societies since Babylon." Eleanor felt a chill despite the warm California air. "I'm just here to sing, Mr. Werner." "Of course you are." His smile was patronizing. "We all begin with such simple intentions." Pantheon Pictures sprawled across 30 acres, its gates guarded by massive statues that Eleanor now realized weren't Greek gods at all, but representations of something far older, beings with elongated skulls and reptilian features that seemed to shift in her peripheral vision. Maxwell led her through a labyrinth of sets and sound stages, past actors in various states of costume and makeup. Some nodded politely. Others stared with an intensity that made Eleanor's skin prickle. She noticed that nearly everyone wore some variation of the same jewelry, pendants, rings, or bracelets bearing occult symbols. The studio system is more than business, Maxwell explained as they walked. It's a hierarchy. Those at the top have achieved elevation through dedication to certain principles. What kind of principles? Self-improvement, mental expansion, the rejection of limiting beliefs imposed by conventional society. His voice took on a rehearsed quality. We believe that humans possess unlimited potential, but only when freed from the shackles of traditional morality and superstition. They passed a sound stage where a group of performers sat in a circle, eyes closed, hands linked. A man in robes stood at their center, speaking in a language Eleanor didn't recognize. Training session? She asked. Consciousness expansion? We've found that performers achieve their greatest heights when they learn to channel energies beyond the mundane physical realm. Eleanor noticed that several of the seated performers appeared to be in genuine distress, trembling, tears streaming down their faces, but the robed leader continued his incantations without pause. They arrived at a door marked simply VH. Without knocking, Maxwell opened it and ushered her inside. The office was cavernous, its walls adorned with artifacts that seemed oddly ancient for such a modern industry. Sumerian tablets, Egyptian hieroglyphs, medieval grimoires in glass cases. Behind an enormous desk sat Vincent Hawthorne himself. Hawthorne was tall and imposing, with silver-streaked dark hair and eyes so black they seemed to absorb light. His desk bore a nameplate reading, High Priest of the Western Lodge, and Eleanor noticed his hands bore intricate tattoos that seemed to move when she wasn't looking directly at them. Miss Blackwood. His voice was deep, melodious, hypnotic. I've been waiting for you for a very long time. The way he said it, as if he'd been waiting much longer than the time it took for her train to arrive from Missouri, sent a chill down Eleanor's spine. Your bloodline, Hawthorne continued, consulting a thick folder, is quite remarkable. Your great-grandmother was Sarah Blackwood, correct? Born in Salem in 1801. Eleanor's eyes widened. How did you— We maintain extensive genealogical records. The gifts often run in families, you see, passed down through the maternal line, usually skipping generations. He smiled, revealing teeth that seemed too sharp. Your voice is merely the surface manifestation of much deeper abilities. He opened the folder, revealing photographs, documents, family trees stretching back centuries. The Blackwood women have always been special. Healers, seers, those who could speak with spirits. Unfortunately, most were suppressed by the Christian persecution of the wise women. Eleanor stared at documents she'd never seen before. Birth certificates, death records, even what appeared to be trial transcripts from witch hunts. This is impossible. How do you have all this? The Lodge maintains archives that predate any government record-keeping. We've been documenting bloodlines since the fall of Atlantis. Hawthorne's expression was matter-of-fact, as if he were discussing the weather. Your lineage traces back to the Mesopotamian mystery schools, Miss Blackwood. You are descended from the original priestesses of Inanna. Eleanor felt dizzy. I don't understand any of this. That's why you're here, to learn, to reclaim your heritage. Hawthorne rose from his chair, moving with fluid grace. Tonight, we're hosting a gathering, the perfect opportunity for you to meet others who share your unique background. A party? But I haven't anything suitable to wear. Everything has been prepared. Hawthorne nodded to Maxwell, who produced a key attached to a gold pendant shaped like an ankh. Your accommodations at the Stardust Hotel have been arranged. You'll find everything you need there. That's very generous, but generosity has nothing to do with it. Hawthorne's voice suddenly carried a force that silenced her protest. This is your destiny, Eleanor. The bloodline must be awakened. The old ways must be preserved. As Maxwell escorted her out, Eleanor glanced back to see Hawthorne consulting what appeared to be an ancient star chart, making notations with a quill pen that gleamed like polished bone.